Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. I've lived life long enough to know that there are certain things that people do that they seem to have no control over, but in reality, they're driving in that direction because they're allowing their loneliness or their uncohesive energy to form a ladder or a bridge or a road toward what it is that they've been looking to disconnect from, but have not yet realized that they're carrying what they don't want and they're honoring it at the same time. And this can show or manifest within desires. So when you desire something, it pulls at you. If you're not able to use your clarity and your discernment to help you, then you just might get lost in that desire and think that the need is something you have to have. But really, you don't need any desire to be forced upon you, whether you're doing it to yourself or another energy is presenting a road that seems like it's been guided, geared, and meant for you, which might in turn switch your mindset from the security and the sanctuary of your positivity, your road, your light, your knowing, and switch it to something that you believe that you desire, that you just have to have, that you would put everything else in front of just to be certain that you can have that experience. But then once that experience is over and you realize that you put all your eggs in a basket that was always meant to collapse, to implode upon itself and take you with it, then you sit there and you wonder why, and you start to cry and say that this isn't what I signed up for. But in reality, your emotion, your movement, and your inability to distinguish between what you truly need and what you at some level desire to have are two separate things. And when you follow the low energy of desiring something more than the energy that it's worth, and you embrace it and you carry it, then that means that you've chosen to walk away from the forward motion you were making and settle back into a limited space where desire tells you that this is where you should go and this is how you should move, because it doesn't seem to matter what happens after as long as you get what it is that you desire. And sometimes that could be a thought, a place, a mindset, a thing. It could even be going against your better judgment because you feel entitled to the desire that for whatever reason you're being led to believe is bigger than you. But there is nothing bigger than you. And all the desire is doing is shrinking you and placing you back in a controlled position where the puppeteers know that if they dangle a carrot of desire, so to speak, in front of you, that you'll grab it and you'll take it and you'll forsake everything else in order to have it. And that is not good. That will lead you down broken roads, empty journeys of positivity and understanding of where you are, who you are, and where you want to be. When you allow desire to take over and switch your perception from open, unlimited, and potential, positive potential, then you would have just shrunk yourself down to a position where you could be captured, that you could be contained, that you could be pressured and dominated. Because when you believe that something outside of you gives you more value than doing what it is that on one level you know that is right for you, like walking the road that was always meant for you, or trading it for that carrot of desire and taking it and then not understanding why that desire doesn't have long life, but just fades out just as quickly as you grabbed it, then that's another indication that you just made a huge mistake. And that could very well disrupt your road, your journey, and your future. So, in order to be able to have what you would like in your life and enjoy the feelings of experiencing the good, the bad, and the ugly, you need to put it all in context. So, if, let's just say, you want to have a vacation, right? Or you want to buy something, but your finances don't cover it, and there's no one else but you putting into that kitty. And you decide to let your responsibilities falter and your positive direction slide. And then you sink back into whatever that desire is, and you put all your energy toward it. And then when you come up out of that desire, when you look at your bill, or you have other things that need attention, but you no longer have the financial ability or the mental mindset in order to contribute to what it is that you actually need to survive, and what it was that you decided you wanted no matter what. And then you're left to sit and cry because you don't understand why. And that's because you were taken over by the entities of desire without having the fulfillment of being actually able to look at that desire and take it apart and realize that that desire may be something that you would like to remember, to rejoice within, or be a part of, and that you had to have it right then and there and let everything else forsake because of it, would lead you into a position where you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper. So if you're on the fence about a desire and about an actual need in order to help you not just survive, but to thrive while you do it, then maybe that desire could wait until you can actually afford to put all of your energy into it and not just pieces of it, because it was something that came across your mind and you decided that you wanted it and that there was nothing that was going to stop you from getting it. Usually that's a good mindset to have, but when you're putting you or other people in your environment in jeopardy because it doesn't, your desire doesn't necessarily have to equal to the other people's desire in your community or your environment, your household even, then you've fallen short. And what you get at the other end is dismay and distraction from what your true calling was supposed to include. No one is saying that you can't have what you desire, but if you're putting it over your livelihood, if you are saying that what you desire will only uplift you, it won't knock you down, but you don't give the right involvement at any particular point in that stage of deciding, should you dive right into your desire, or should you make sure that your foundation is firm? Let me ask you a question. If it was something that you had to have, and you took away from something that you needed in order to survive without having to worry about lack or fear or anxiety of being able to achieve, Was your desire really worth it? Was all the motion that you put into it really worth giving everything up in order to have 5 minutes worth of your desire? Or do you find that you might have made a mistake in your calculations? But now what do? How do you get past that? Well, now you're back at square zero and you have to start all over again. And you have to rebuild and reassess as you go. And it may take much longer than where you were before, because now maybe you don't have a place to live or clothes to wear or even food to eat or the ability to pay your utilities, possibly, depending upon what your situation is. So before you choose to allow your desires to overcome your sensibility, think really hard and reflect, and then look forward. How is this going to affect you? If you put your literal needs aside and you stack them all up into your desire, what do you have at the end of that? You just have the memory of your desire, whether it came out well or it came out not. But what you don't have is the support that you needed from your foundation in order to keep you in a position where you're not in a lackful state, that you have a home, that you have utilities, that you have food, that you have clothes, that you have a car even, that you have everything that you need that you had before you decided to put all of your energy and effort into your desire. And then what do you have left? Just that bittersweet reminder of that desire that overtook your road of security and sanctuary. And now you have no security, no sanctuary, and you're starting from the beginning and you're trying to figure out how to rebuild. When in reality, if you would have just said, I may desire this, but it's not time yet to, put it into physical form by stepping into that desire. I'm going to wait until I can actually have both. That have the ability to continue my security while I have my desire. And maybe it might work out better for you if you're able to see that what it is that you believe you should receive, that you feel entitled to claim, but don't really have the ability to see it through to the end and hold up your security at the same time, and your ability to succeed in the endeavors that you already started, that you already put into place. You just might find that you'll lose everything and then you'll have nothing. So before you allow desire to overtake and overcome your security and your success, think real hard about what the after effect will be if you take everything you have and throw it into your desire and leave nothing for your success or your security. And then what would happen if you put everything in your success and your security and waited to put movement toward your desire? Then you just might find yourself with more clarity and more of an ability to handle everything that you would like and not have to give anything up in between or put your steps backwards, sideways, or even upside down. So before you make these decisions, look a little bit further into the future and see how it can affect what you've been working toward. And if you feel that you've got enough on both sides in order to be able to have your desire and keep your security, then that puts you in a better position than if you only had the ability for one and you wanted both. And then you wondered, how did you get in this position where you're lacking something? On one hand, you have the desire fulfilled, but you could never go back and add more life to it because that window closed and it's shut and it's gone forever. All you have left are the memories of it. And if you choose to put your motion into your success and your security, then that will continue to grow and you will have a firmer foundation and you won't have to worry about where you're going to set your head or if you're going to eat that day or if you're going to be cold or if you're going to be in a position where lack is overcoming you. I'm here to help you choose and decide if you would like by offering you questions like, what's more important? What will you get out of your desire? What will happen long term? What can you get out of your security and your success? And how is it benefiting you today? And how could it enhance how could it enhance and create continued security and success in your life if you were to put more movement into your existence than your wants, your desires? There's a difference. There really is. And here, this is an example. I wanted face care products. I desired to have face care products to help my skin go back into place and to help raise my muscle mass in my face. But I can't really afford to do that and live in my house and pay my bills at the same time because money just doesn't flow as it used to. And that's because I'm in a compromised position still currently where my body is not responding well with every move I make every day. So I was left with the question, do I worry about my looks and my facial muscles and my expression visibly for everyone, including me, to see? Or do I work toward my security and my foundation and my success by making sure that I have the ability to carry my weight? It was a really easy choice for me. As you can tell, my face is a little bit saggy still, and my muscles haven't been responding like they once were because I stopped using the facial equipment, the electrical stimulator that I have in order to help put more retention back in my muscles and help lift them up so that my face doesn't sag on one side. But I have a house and I have land and I have the security of that. Although I don't have everything else, I still have a piece of my foundation and a glimmer of my security that I can rely upon without having to worry about taking away from where I live, where I put my head, where I feel safe and complete to what it is that I visually see when I look in the mirror. Now, I also understand that I love me and the skin that I sit in, no matter what that skin may appear to be. But I also know that more people will be willing to listen to me if my face looked better, if my voice wasn't so choppy. But unfortunately, that wasn't the road that I went. I didn't take vanity and use it in place of my security. I took my security and said, in time, I'll be able to work on my vanity. At least I have a safe place to be that shields me, protects me, and houses me. But not everybody looks at their situation in the manner in which I do. And for that, I offer more clarity and more balanced discernment when you're making your decisions. And the understanding or the comprehension, if you will, of what you'll receive regarding whatever you choose to bring to life into your existence. So The question now lays, what is more important to you? And what are you going to put your energy and effort toward in order to keep your momentum going? So is it going to be your fleeting desire, or is it going to be your long-lasting security, your success, your ability to use all the lessons that you learned and understand that divine time happens when it's meant to, that we can't force it, and that we need to be very vigilant and not put one thing, one desire up against an actual need. And then when we can see clearly, we'll always choose the need and not the desire. Because once we don't have to worry about the need and we have that clearly stable, then and only then can we work on what it is that we desire. That would be the right road to take, because then that won't leave you feeling lack or crying and wondering why. But everyone has the ability to use their own free will and to choose their own direction. So my question to you is, what direction is more important to you? A fleeting desire or a long-lasting security? I can't wait to hear what your answers are. I mean, I see how it is unfolding with other people. So they went full force into their desire and they left all their security behind them, which means that after their desire is completed, they have no security to hold them. And then they ask questions. How did this happen? I don't know why this went wrong. I wanted what I wanted. Well, this is how this happened, because you were stubborn and you chose the wrong path. Even if you were on the right path to begin with, you diverted because you allowed your cardinal desire to overtake your actual human need in order to survive and to live comfortably, or at least attempt to while you do it. So no matter where you find yourself, I am always sending you the ability to see clearly and to choose wisely, because, oh, my nose, the divine, my spirit team and yours is asking you to trust in the process and take the long way. Choose your foundation and your security before you choose your desires, because the desire never is long-lasting. It comes just as fast as it goes. And the one thing that will have long-lasting life is the security, the foundation, and the structure that you build in order to carry you through every journey in your life. And then and only then will desires come to you in an easier manner to obtain, because you won't be giving one up for the other. You'll be embracing everything equally in divine time at the right moment, when you know that your steps are leading you toward what it is that you seek but may not actually need, or what you need you are seeking. Well, you know what I mean. Well, maybe you don't. So don't let a feel-good thing that is fleeting interrupt or take away from whatever it is that you need in order to build your foundation upon. Because your foundation will last your entire life long, and its desire comes and goes. And sometimes it doesn't even leave the feeling behind that you thought that it should. Because keep in mind that it's not just your energy that may have this desire. Maybe it's a few energies that you surround yourself with that have the same desire, and nobody is considering their future or their foundation. And then you're stuck in a mess with a whole bunch of other people that are saying, it's your fault. It's not my fault. I chose what I wanted, not what I needed. But that's not how it works either. You are responsible for your choice, regardless of how many energies are feeling the same way or exuding the same sensations, right? The same direction. So even if there's a group that hold the same view, but it's a fleeting desire that was never meant to add any type of structure or foundation, then you'll be surrounded by that same group of people that have lack, that sit and cry and start pointing fingers and blaming other energies for their own choices. Because sometimes when you sit in the middle of a group that all feel the same way, that they deserve to be entitled to whatever their desire is because of whatever their reason may be, that could lead in a very bad place. And you might not be able to see it right away until after you're through it and you're sitting in the collapse of what used to be a strong foundation or a firm structure. Whatever you do today, I certainly hope that you never allow your fleeting desire to overtake and overcome the stability, the success, and the forward motion that maybe you've been setting into place or looking to achieve with positive forward motion. But the minute you slide back and the minute that you allow a fleeting desire to take over, then you just lost. You're down, you're right back at the beginning, and you have to restart your climb all over again. And now you have to put more energy into enhancing the positivity that you let slide. And you need to focus and reevaluate and observe how you came to these decisions, what was the driving force behind them, and how could you see clearly in the future to eliminate this threat from ever occurring again. And sometimes you might need to have someone else clear it up for you. But then again, everything that you have, that you possess, is all within you. So before you look toward an outside energy to fix the mess that you might have made, it's time for you to reevaluate you and where you might have went wrong and what energy may have stood in between you and making a clear choice. Picking and choosing and being able to see clearly that whatever choice you make will uplift and benefit you, not unravel and hold you down. My lovely collective, no matter where you find yourself, I am always sending you positive energy so that you can see past what it is you may desire to see how it might end for you. Like when you actually use your mind and you think, okay, well, if I go this way towards my desire, what's going to be left? What do I have at the end? And then if I go this way to follow my success and my stability, what will I have at the end? And then how can I marry those two together? Well, good luck. Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And sometimes you just need to be able to balance everything out, think a few steps ahead, and see how you'll actually end, how the whole situation will end. And when you can do that, then it'll put you in a better place in order to make the most impactful decision for you, where I hope that you choose that your foundation and your structure is way more important than a fleeting desire I know I did. And if you need help, I can help you. And if you think you can handle it on your own or with your spirit team, that is way so awesome to hear. Because that means that you're looking within you in order to obtain the answers that you need. By investing in your forward motion, your true forward motion, not placating a fleeting desire that will never really amount to anything at the end. My lovely collective, I am always here for you. Although the message is a little bit choppy and a little bit unsteady, the message is still clear. Don't allow fleeting desire to overrule, to pick and choose, or to push away what you know is a foundation, a structure that you're creating in order to carry you all of the days of your life. My lovely collective, good luck, and I'm here for you. Reach out if you need me. Love and light.